Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope your day and your week have been going very well so far. We've got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. With a new day and a new week comes some new opportunities to go ahead and make some money. I have 4 fresh new NBA player props to go ahead and share with you guys in today's video. And we have absolutely no time to waste today, guys. So let's go ahead and dive right in to today's NBA player props. All right, guys, a bit of a short slate tonight. By the way, shout out to my girlfriend, Kelsey. Little early Christmas gift here, little Fenway Park background. So I'm finally starting to look like we're designing the place a little bit. Someone made the comment a few weeks ago how I look like I'm being held hostage in the studio recording videos. So I figured it's time to maybe update the place a little bit. My girlfriend also agreed. So shout out to Kelsey for the awesome early Christmas gift. Getting things started here, we only have 2 games tonight, like I mentioned. 6 p.m. tip-off and then an 8:30 p.m. tip-off. We have 2 picks coming from each game. So the first game I'm taking a look at here is Miami Heat at the Orlando Magic. Again, 6 p.m. tip-off. My first player prop in the video, my first player prop from this game being Bam Adebayo over 9.5 rebounds. If this is a plus money play, you can grab a best odds available plus 101 over on Novig. And honestly, if this being a plus money play, we got a pretty solid matchup and the data is pretty strong. Let's go ahead and break this down. Overall this year, a 50% hit rate on this over for Bam Adebayo, which really isn't that bad. 9 of 18 games, he's cashed the over. He's averaging exactly 9 rebounds per game this season. So not bad numbers. If we do go ahead and narrow it down in the last 10 games, still 50-50, although his average has increased to 9.7 rebounds per game, so pretty solid numbers there as well. If we go ahead and narrow it down even further to the last 5 games, 3 of his last 5 games, he's cashed the over, averaging 10.6 rebounds per game over his last 5 games. Like I said, for a plus money play, the data isn't awful here. But the other thing to look at here, the head-to-head data, still 50-50. However, 3 consecutive head-to-head matchups against the Orlando Magic, he's cashed the over, including 2-0 so far this year against Orlando. He had 12 rebounds back on October 22nd, and then most recently, just 4 days ago on December 5th, he had 15 rebounds in what was a 1-point loss for Miami. If we scroll down below here, look at the rebound chances. He had 20 rebound chances on December 5th's matchup. He had 16 rebound chances in the one before that. So he's averaging in the 2 games this year, 18 rebound chances per game across the 2 matchups this season. Again, we need him to get 10 here. Now, overall this year versus centers, the Orlando Magic 14th in rebounds allowed, giving up 12.6 rebounds per game. Overall this year, taking the entire season's data into perspective. Versus power forwards, they are 10th. So not bad on the Orlando side of things in terms of their rebounding numbers. It's not necessarily a great matchup if we look at the entire season data, but if we do go ahead and jump over the dashboard over on Guy Boston Sports, we scroll down below here and see Orlando last 7 games versus power forwards and versus centers. You see the rebounding numbers here, 26th in rebounds allowed to the power forward position over the last 7 games and 29th in rebounds allowed to the center position over the last 7 games. So yes, from an overall perspective, they aren't terrible in terms of rebounds allowed, but if we do go ahead and narrow this down to the last 7 games, the more recent data, they've given up a lot of rebounds down low. And so Adebayo, he just did it, 15 rebounds the other night. I don't think that 10 rebounds is that crazy when he's already done it twice this year, including 3 straight if we even go back to the last matchup of last season. So it's a pretty good matchup spot, good opportunities. You see the last few centers against Orlando, Adebayo obviously being in there, his 15 rebound performance, but you see Mitchell Robinson 13 rebounds, Vucevic 11, Jalen Duren 12, Andre Drummond 12, a couple of really good performances there from past centers, one facing off with Orlando, and obviously Adebayo plays between center and power forward. So if you do go ahead and narrow this to the power forward position, now, not as great of data. We also don't go back as far, but you still see a good number of green cashes there on those overs. So I think this spot's overall pretty solid for Adebayo. It's a plus money play. I don't know if I'll put a full unit on this. Down below in the pinned comments will be my link for my picks. We'll also put down how many units I'm placing on each bet. This one might be like a 3/4 unit or maybe a half a unit play, but ultimately still a pretty solid player prop to go ahead and kick off this video. All right, guys, my second player prop from this game and my second player prop overall in the video, kind of sticking with the theme of betting the big guys in this matchup. I'm going Wendell Carter Jr. Under 13.5 points plus assists, which I'm grabbing for minus 120 best odds available to me over on FanDuel. And the data on this player prop for Angel Reese's boyfriend is pretty solid here. 65% hit rate on the season for Wendell Carter Jr. 15 of 23 games. He's cashed the under, averaging 13.52 points plus assists per game overall this year. So his average is right at that line. So it's very close. And as you can see from the data here, even when he does miss, a lot of very narrow misses this year in terms of this line of the under 13.5 points plus assists. So overall data is pretty good. 65% hit rate on the season. Last 10 game data, 70% hit rate, including, if you kind of narrow this down, 7 of his last 8 games, he's cashed the under, averaging just 12.9 points plus assists per game over his last 10. Narrow it to the last 5 games, 4 of his last 5, averaging just 11 points plus assists per game. You see the average slowly starting to kind of decrease as we go ahead and narrow the data down further and further. Also, some pretty good head-to-head numbers here. As you can see, 5 of his last 6 matchups with the Miami Heat, he's cashed the under. That's an 83% hit rate, averaging 9.83 points plus assists per game across the last 6 matchups with Miami. And again, like mentioned previously with the Bam Adebayo prop, they played 2 times this year. He's cashed the under in both games, honestly pretty convincingly. October 22nd, he had 9 points and 1 assist. And their most recent matchup, again, December 5th, he had just 7 points and 1 assist. Again, he doesn't really pass the ball too much, so assists, it's more about the points. How many points he's going to score? He's only taking about 5 or 6 shots per game across the last 6 matches with Miami, and he's not really shooting the ball all that well when taking those 5 or 6 shots. And as you can probably go ahead and guess, it's a pretty good defensive matchup. Miami overall this year, 9th in points allowed, 3rd in assists allowed to the center position. You do go ahead and look at the dashboard screen here. You can see Miami points over the last 7 games, not as good, okay, 13th, so still pretty good. Not as good, but still top half of the league, 13th in points allowed, still top 5, though, in assists allowed to the center position over the last 7 games. So still pretty good data overall from a recent perspective, from an overall perspective. It looks to be a pretty solid matchup. And again, that head-to-head data, and you can see here a couple of past results from centers against this Miami defense. The head-to-head data, I think, speaks volumes in this spot. So I love this for Wendell Carter Jr. His under 13.5 points plus assists as the second player prop in today's video. And very quickly, guys, before we finish off with our final 2 player props in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the sponsor of today's video, Outlier. Most of the data that you have seen in this video is brought to you by Outlier. This screen that we are on right now is the Outlier screen. It is the best sports betting tool on the market, hands down. It offers a very large amount of insights, analysis, data, trends, head-to-head numbers, and it covers everything from player props to spreads to totals to money lines to alternate lines, to alternate bets, so many EV plus arbitrage betting, so much more is covered. And again, I don't show you guys all of it because I just don't have the time to. But I'm telling you guys, check it out for yourself. And we offer a special promo link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Use that special promo link, sign up and get a 7-day free trial to check Outlier out for yourself. Get access to all of this data. I'm telling you guys, you will not be disappointed. It's going to make you a smarter sports bettor and ultimately a better sports bettor. So go ahead and check that out one more time. Link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. 7-day free trial to Outlier when you go ahead and use that special promo link. And shout out to Outlier for sponsoring today's video and being a proud sponsor of Guy Boston Sports. All right, guys, next up we got Knicks Raptors, 8:30 p.m. tip-off here. My 3rd pick in today's video and my first of 2 picks from this Knicks Raptors game. We have Emmanuel Quickley of the Raptors under 22.5 points plus rebounds, which I'm grabbing from minus 120 best odds available to me over on FanDuel. Data looks pretty solid on this player prop as well. You see a 60% hit rate this season on the under for Emmanuel Quickley. 15 of 25 games. He's cashed the under, averaging 20.76 points plus rebounds per game this year. Go ahead and narrow this data down to, let's say, the last 10 games. 7 of his last 10, he's cashed the under, averaging 21 points plus rebounds per game over the last 10 games. Even last 5 game data, 3 of his last 5, he's cashed the under. So pretty good numbers across the board here. And even from a head-to-head perspective, 2 of his last 3 matchups against the New York Knicks, he's cashed the under. It's a 67% hit rate, averaging 18.67 points plus rebounds per game. 6-7 points plus rebounds per game in the head-to-head over the last 3 matchups with the Knicks. Sorry about that, guys. I had to. It's everywhere, guys. It's everywhere. Though they have played once this year, November 30th, so not too long ago, a little over a week ago. He had 19 points and 2 rebounds. So he did cash the under, but it was a very narrow cash. He came very close to that line. If we go down below here and see what he did, he played almost 35 minutes. He took 14 shots, 7-14. So a pretty big volume of work there for quickly the last matchup against the Knicks. But he did shoot the ball pretty well. I don't know. He also went 4 for 10 from 3. I don't know if he'll shoot that well again. Ultimately, because the Knicks this year, they're a pretty good defensive team against the point guard position. Top 10 in both points and rebounds allowed against the point guard position. And again, referring to the dashboard over at GuyBostonSports.com, last 7 games, the Knicks 6th in points allowed and 6th in rebounds. That trio of numbers, unholy, very unholy, bad numbers, bad juju. But 6th in points allowed, 6th in rebounds allowed to the point guard position. So a very, very good defensive matchup here for an under bet here. The Knicks have been consistently good all year long against the point guard position. Even look at the last several games. You do see versus point guards, okay, some pretty big performances. Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, LaMelo Ball, a couple good games in there, but obviously you do see a lot of Green as well. Quickly again cashes under the last time that he played. So pretty good numbers across the board here. Good defensive matchup, good overall numbers. I like this as an under bet for Emmanuel Quickly against the New York Knicks. All right, guys, in our 4th and final pick in today's video, we have OG Anunoby of the New York Knicks over 20.5 points plus rebounds plus assists, which I am grabbing for -128 best odds available to me over on FanDuel. And again, the data is pretty solid here. 64% hit rate on the year for Anunoby, 9 of 14 games. He's cashed the over, averaging 23.07 PRAs per game this year. Narrow it down a little bit, last 10 games, you see 7 of his last 10, he's cashed the over, averaging 22.9 PRAs per game. He did miss a little stretch here with an injury. Obviously, you see November 12th, November 14th. Then he doesn't play again until December 5th. So this is his 3rd game back from injury, but as you can see, his last time out, December 7th against the Magic, he had 21 points and 7 rebounds, and he played almost 28 minutes in that game. So I expect a couple days later now for him to kind of get closer to his normal workload, which is around 32 minutes per game with the number of shots he typically takes, which is in the ballpark of about 11 to 12 shots per game. And obviously, pretty good head-to-head matchup here. This is obviously his former team, Toronto Raptors. He's cashed it in 3 straight matchups against Toronto, averaging a whopping 30.67. I won't do it this time, but come on, guys. 30.67 PRAs per game across the last 3 matchups against the Toronto Raptors. So really good numbers here versus Toronto. Toronto this year versus power forwards, 27th in points, 14th in rebounds, and 11th in assists. So not a very good defensive team against the power forward position. If we do narrow it down to the last 7 games, you see Toronto still 27th in points allowed, but rebounds and assist numbers, they have gotten better of late. Okay, 11th in rebounds, 3rd in assists. So that part of the matchup, not as enticing, but from a points perspective, which is where he'll mostly cash this anyways, he's got a pretty good matchup. And again, from a rebound perspective too, he's going to grab at least a few rebounds in this spot. Now, this is the first time he's played Toronto this year, so we have no recent head-to-head data to go off of, but we have seen, if we go down below here, recent power forwards against Toronto. You see a healthy amount of Green, some pretty solid performances from some guys who are not on the level of OG Anunoby. Jake LaRavia, Toumani Camara, Jeremy Grant, good players, but obviously I would say Anunoby's better than those guys. So I think he's got a pretty good matchup. He's also been, as you can see from the insights provided by Outlier, pretty good on the road of late as well. So overall, I think it's a pretty solid player prop to go ahead and finish up on in today's video. And guys, that is it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. We'll be back tomorrow with another NBA player prop video. Until then, guys, I hope you're all winners. Enjoy your Tuesday. Let's have a great week this week. We had a solid start last week, and then a couple of our parlays kind of fell through for us. But hey, it's A-okay because we got a new week, some new opportunities to win, and we're going to win big this week. I can feel it. So, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment down below. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, hope you're all winners. Let's go ahead and make some money, baby. Let's go.